Well, hello YouTube, welcome back to the first video in a while and first video of me fishing in a while. We're doing something a bit different. Got waders on, that's something you've not seen before, and it's because I got them not too long ago, the other day, a couple of days ago. And they're working brilliant, no holes or nothing, thank God. I've got just basic light gear, till of maggots and a rod, no spare tackle needed because, well, the little stream that we're headed to has got, well, hardly any snags in it. Rammed with roach and perch, there's a couple chub, with a few gudgeon. So, it's the 17th of June today, right? And I was filming a video yesterday, and because I fished the brook, because obviously the river's open on the 16th, so I fished the brook, and there was a load of trout biting. Normally in the swim that I fish, the weir, there is loads, it's just loads of chub, the odd trout. Nope, it was just loads of trout. I had one try and snatch my maggots on the retrieval. In total, I must have lost about 6 trout. I only landed one, because I was using barbless hooks yesterday. I only landed the one, and, well, that big, I'll put it on screen now. And what the plan was, is I'm thinking of a new series, and it's where, from yesterday, June 16th, through to March 14th, 2026, I'm going to catch as many species as I can. Whether that be rivers, canals, ponds, ditches, brooks, streams, lakes, reservoirs, anything. I'm going to see how many species I can catch from yesterday, June 16th, through to March 14th. And the first species we ticked 2 off yesterday. We ticked minnows. Minnows is one I've ticked off, and brown trout there ticked off. And we're going to see a lot of them through this series with the small streams I'm targeting. So yeah, we're fishing this little stream here, and I'm going to see if I can get roach ticked off maybe, and maybe gudgeon if I'm lucky. It's not that deep, but for the amount of fish it holds, it's brilliant. We're going to be fishing underneath the bridge, hence the waders. So yeah, I'm going to get fish, I'm going to get my maggots on, I'm going to, So yeah, enjoy this video, there'll be more to come. Enough yapping, I better get fishing. Right, so you should know the score by now, what rigs we use targeting small streams like this. Just a size 12 hook, or that's a 14, I'm not too sure. I'm using 2 red maggots today instead of 2 red and 1 yellow, because the fishing here aren't that big. There's a few decent ones, but for the smaller ones I'm giving with that. And any smaller of a hook than that, they won't hook. 3 split shots, they're just mixed sizes. They're all spilt in my bag, so I just picked up the heaviest ones I've seen. So yeah, and before I go in fact I'll go in now, and I will I'll show you, because it's unbelievable, right? If you're a devoted angler and you fish reservoirs or rivers like River Trent, you will know what signal crayfish are. And may I just say, there is loads in this little stream, right? We're gonna look for, there's one right there already, and I've not even got a yard in. I don't know if you can see it right there. I think you can just about see the claw. There's one right there, right? And under here there's gonna be loads. There's gonna be hundreds of them, way too many. So that's another problem with this stream. I was lure fishing it last year, and let's just say I hooked quite a few. So I'm gonna get under, I'm gonna see if I can catch my first fish. Then after that clip, I went underneath the bridge in search of fish. Only thing was, I couldn't find anything but crayfish after crayfish. So in the end, I waded down to a different spot in search of some roach. Right, so I waded through that, got up there. I'm not getting that. No chance. I'm just trying it. Oh, there's a stick. Quite a fish. I felt a little bit of wriggling under the stick. I looked to stickleback. I mean, it'll be a species. There is a spot just up there full of loads and loads of sticklebacks in this little ditch. So I'm like, oh, that was something nice. I want to get it in there, but I'm going to get stuck into it. Or over there, 6 deeper. And I'm thinking, if I go back up, right now, the stickleback's in at that. If I go up there and get the maggots, I can wade down through that bit there and try down there until this lad's meeting me down here after he finishes school. So yeah, I'm going to keep trying, and then I'll give that stuff there. And again, I want to see if there's actually still anything up there, because there was the other day. No, there's not. It wasn't the target species, but I I've just caught that behemoth of a cray. That is massive. You're not meant to put these guys back in the water. You're meant to kill them on the bank, but to be honest, I know it's illegal, but I find it cruel. Like, there's already millions in here. What harm is putting one back in going to do? I need to unhook it somehow. I know how to pick them up. I used to catch them, but that's just... Right. Now, that is an invasive signal crayfish. They were introduced in the early 70s, I believe. Because our native white claws they didn't have enough meat on them or something like that. And farmers didn't realise how easy they could escape. So basically, they'd get out like that, they'd climb up the banks like that. You couldn't say that, but he went in the water. They'd climb up the bank, and then they'd go bang into the rivers, and now they're everywhere. That is not the biggest one I've ever caught. In fact, that's one of the small ones that I've caught. Look at the claws on it though. Like, that is insane. That is almost the size of my palm, upwards vertically. It's a male fish, so no wonder his claws are massive. And the way to tell that is if you look there, right in between, right there, there's two little things going up, and there's a little white bit, and I don't know what that is. I think that's the genitals. So I know you're not meant to release them, and I know it's illegal, but there's already millions in here, and I find it cruel to just put it there and just go bang with my rod. So I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to put him back and let him get on. Because I think, in my opinion, it's cruel, because there's millions in here, and what harm is killing? What's killing one going to do? Nothing. It doesn't do anything. So I'm just going to put him back, and you can watch him swim off, because it's cruel, and I don't like killing things. It's like when I catch trout, I don't like killing them. I don't like killing these. I've only killed a couple and ate them. That's better. There he goes, back. But he is quite a large one. You meant to take him home. You meant to kill him. You can either take him home and eat him or whatever. I don't. It's cruel. So I'm going to get fishing again. I'm going to wade all the way down there. This is the beauty of, like, small streams and why I fish them. Like, it's just amazing. And to think there's actually fish in something like this, it's surprising. And to think I'm snagged on a whatever bush that is also amazing. I've got to try and get through that yet. This is going to be brilliant. And then you get swims like this where people would think, oh yeah, this spot's bound to hold at least one fish. In all the time that I've been fishing this brook, right, this is how deep it is. It's still going down. It's still dropping. In all the years I've been fishing this brook, the most I've managed from this spot is just a singular stickleback. This water here is deeper than it is under the bridge, and you'd think, hot spot. No, literally, this is definitely not a hot spot for fish. Nothing. I've never ever caught a proper species from it, a proper fish species from here, other than a stickleback. And I know a stickleback actually is a proper species, but it's not a coarse fish. I've never ever caught a perch, a chub, a roach, anything from here. So I'm getting up the bank here because I'm not going through that there. I'm going to get him back in here. Because back when I used to go crayfishing with Alfred, there used to be loads there, and we'd literally have a swim there. We got pinched on the tail by a crayfish. That was funny. Yeah, this is the shallow. I could walk through this in my school. When I used to go to school, I used to walk through this in school shoes. This is how shallow it is. Yeah. Now, do I go through the bridge, or do I go under the bridge, or do I go over? Because that's quite low. I'm thinking, because through that tunnel there is a really deep spot, and I can see a deep spot from here, where the bubbles are slowing down. I'm thinking of wading through the tunnel, so I come out on the opposite side of the road. Might be a bit risky though. I've tried loads of spots. I have spooked a decent roach, and that was about it. I spooked an honest roach. That was the last of it. So I'm not. Could I go by the crayfish? I might just wade through the tunnel, come out to the deep spot on the other end, and there's loads of places I can get out. because here I'm kind of restricted. So yeah, I'm gonna have a look, see what I can do. Right, in the end, I decided to come back on the main path because I realised that that's not the right bridge I was thinking about. That goes underneath the building behind me, underneath the road, and underneath another building. So in total I'll be walking for about 100 yards, maybe a bit less, of pitch black, you can't see anything through it. And then I realised that on the other end is the measuring station, and I forgot that was there. And if the measuring station wasn't there, then I would be able to, and you might be wondering, why can't you walk through if there's a measuring station? Well, they've got a big metal grate there. There is a big metal grate, and I will not be able to squeeze through that, not with how wide I am. I will not be able to eat, like, the bars, they are quite wide. It's wide enough for fish to get through, but it's not, I'm not going to get through it, put it that way. I'm not going to get, and there's no gap. So I'd wade through that, pitch black, be absolutely scared because you can't see the other end because it bends, sort of. And then once I've done all that, stop it off, I've got to wade back because of the metal grate at the other end. So I'm thinking, in a bit, if I don't get anything on this stretch, I'll just walk down the road and go in that bit. Get on the allotments and it runs through them. I can just wade, get in at the allotments and wade down underneath another bridge and then go through until the measuring station. Or I could wade up to the nature reserve and try and fish there because that's where I'd probably catch. I've spooked one roach. It wasn't that big, but it was a roach. So I'm going back to the main bridge that I started off at. If I don't get nothing here, we'll just go up there to the nature reserve or somewhere and try. Right, I saw a few fish and I thought I had a roach. That is a huge gudgeon. That's got to be one of the biggest gudgeon I have ever caught. That's massive. Don't get at me, I need to get a picture of it. That's a massive gudgeon. That's huge. That's got to be the biggest I've ever caught. Like, that's an easy 16 centimetre, that. That's amazing. Honestly, oh my God. Right, if I stand back, that's a better look at him. That's a huge gudgeon. That's almost like a baby barbel. That is got to be the biggest gudgeon I've ever caught. That is a PB. Honestly, I have never seen one bigger in my life. I thought, when I was sitting him going through it, I thought it was a roach because of the sheer size of him, but it turned out to be just a massive gudgeon. And to think they get that big in here, this is why I fish small streams, because you catch the unexpected. I thought I'd hooked a small trout at first, but no, that absolute beauty. And look at the belly on it and all. So we're going to get him back, or her, because I don't want to leave him out the water too long, just to stress him out. And hopefully we can get another one. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, that's a PB gudgeon right there. So just gently. Look at the size of it in the water. That's huge. And like, I was round about there in the middle and I seen him and I was like, right, loads of roach. Nope, just a humongous gudgeon. Right, so that gudgeon I had not too long ago was absolutely massive. In fact, the biggest in this stretch, most likely, in the entire brook, whilst I'm saying that. It probably is not the brooks it joins onto, because this connects to the brook that I normally fish. It was a proper specimen, that. I've got back under the bridge and I've come through, and I spotted a perch. I did spot a perch, but I couldn't get it. It was spooked by the time I got my up bait in the water. I'm just waiting for all the dirt to clear, so I could see the bottom. And I waded down. I heard something jump or drop in the water, and I'm like, right, that could be a stick or that could be a fish jumping. So I went down and had a look, and there was a lot, when I say a lot, I mean a lot of fish. I don't know what they were, but I did hook one, and it was a gudgeon. It was another gudgeon, so I'm glad it came off. We don't want two of the same species in one day. We want multi-species. I'm looking in the water now to see if I can spot anything, but at the minute now, no roach. I've spotted one roach earlier, all the way up there. That was it. I've not Did I just say fish? Like I seen 2 fish. I don't know, I might be seeing things. But I might get back under now. So the dirt's clearing quite a bit and see if I can catch a different species. Right. That gudgeon I caught not too long ago was a specimen. That was a proper gudgeon. That was a big one. That was my PB, guaranteed. No, I did get back in and I looked under the bridge, and after a while I did see some sign of life. There was a few species. I'm not too sure what they were. They weren't that big. They were only about that. But there was some fish, and they weren't sticklebacks. So I tried getting them, and they spooked by the time I got my rod out. And then I was underneath the bridge, and just over that log there, I heard a splash, and I was like, that could be a stick falling in the water. Could be a leaf. It wouldn't be a leaf if it's making a splash, but it could have been anything, I thought to myself. But it also could be a fish jumping. So I went and investigated, and there was a load. And when I say a load, I mean a load of fish. There were mixed species. There were mixed species of fish. Not got a clue what they were. I did hook one in the end though, but it was another gudgeon, and I'm glad it came off because I don't want 2 of the same species in one day. We need multiple. We need gudgeon. We need roach. We need perch. We need God knows what, and maybe a chub. So I'm going to give it another half an hour on this bridge, just see if I can get anything. And after that half an hour, I'm going to go home. And that'll be it for me. And then tomorrow I'll be back out again somewhere. And then I reckon Thursday I'm going to go quite far away, and I'm going to target chub and trout. Now trout's already ticked off the list, I know, but I wanna film myself catching a trout. I've not done it yet. I filmed Alfie catching one. I've never actually posted a video of me catching a trout, so I reckon I might get to that brook miles away, target chub and trout on spinners and maggots and whatnot, because the season's open now, so take some maggots and stuff like that, target big trout and some nice chub, get chub ticked off, and yeah, maybe a roach, because there is some roach in there. There's quite a few perch, so we can probably get 3 species ticked off, and if we get lucky, dace maybe. I've never caught a dace. Actually, I might have caught one at the Ros. I've never caught a dace out of a river or a moving water at all, so if we get lucky, might have a dace. So yeah, I'm going to give it half an hour. If I catch anything or spot anything, then I'll record. Wicked. There's species number 4, perch. You might be wondering why I'm being so quiet. And that's because I don't know if you can see, but there's still fish down there. So I'm going to end up having to throw him back. But I don't want to speak at swim, so yeah, we've got perch ticked off now. That's wonderful. Right, so we've got perch ticked off. I just had another gudgeon, which I don't bother recording. I don't know if you can see them all, but there is quite a few species down there, and I'm running out of maggots. And to get back to my maggots, I need to get through there and over there. So I'm hoping something wants to take a singular chewed up maggot. That perch as well, didn't I? I'm hoping that, I'm not too sure what they are. I know there's perch down there. There's gudgeon, but I can't tell what the other ones are, because there's loads and loads of them. This is amazing, look, there's one there. Right, so that's me done. I'm done with the fishing. My mum's just rung me. She wants me to go home so she can order dinner, so gotta go home. There's fish down there, and this is confusing me, because when I waded through the other day and had a look and see if I spotted loads of fish, they were here as well. There's loads. I wouldn't say loads. There's only about 3 of them, but there's fish down there with white mouths. They've got white mouths. Now, I was thinking they could be big gudgeon at first, because they are. I can't even do it with my hands. They're bigger than that. They were quite big, and they had white mouths, and I thought they were gudgeon at first. But then I realised they can't be, because the gudgeon are on the bottom, and they don't look anything like that. There could be roach, but then again, I've seen the roach, and they're only about that big. The biggest one I've seen today is about that, which I spooked all the way up there. They could be chub, but chub don't really have white mouths. I ain't got a clue what they are. They're not trout. They're not anything like that. They could be big gudgeon, but the trouble is they're not on the bottom. They're actually just off it. Gudgeon, all the gudgeon I've seen are on the bottom, feeding on the bottom and on the bottom. These aren't. I've tried catching them. They've nibbled at me maggots, but they're not doing it. I think because I've had that perch and I keep hooking crayfish, it's put them off. And probably the fact they can see the split shots by the hook. So that's me done. I'm going to get my stuff packed up, my maggots and whatnot, do the outro, go on. Because I'm hungry. I've got a sandwich in the air, so I'll have that while I'm waiting for my dinner. Yeah, play some on my Xbox. And, I'm going to get out tomorrow. And I don't know where I'm going to go, but I'm going to target roach and all that. And then I'm going to get down to that brook not too far away, get some trout and chub, maybe dace and roach. Yeah. Today's been alright. I come down here to tick off roach originally. We ticked off perch and gudgeon, with the gudgeon being a proper specimen and the perch being the biggest I've had out of here. Yeah, so I'll get my stuff packed up and whatnot. Right. When I said pack my stuff up, I meant put the lid on my maggot and my cap back on and walk up that hill. Quick outro because my phone's going to die. It's on 2%. It might be on 1 now. But today's been amazing. I can't wait to get back out and start filming more videos. It's been something I've missed. I can't wait to get back out tomorrow or Thursday and whenever and do it again. It's been amazing. 3 fish, not too bad, especially when the place looks like this. Not too bad. Massive gudgeon and a perch. The biggest one that I've caught out of here yet. I've got a funny idea for the intro of next video, and it's going to be like something like, on today's episode of Untitled Series, because I've not come up with a name yet. Jaden does this, Jaden does that. And then there's a shot of me with my arms folded like that, looking at the camera like this. And then there'll be the title of the whatever it is, the series. That'd be funny. I reckon I might do that. That might be cool. I'm going to get the video edited tonight and done, and upload it. Because normally I'd do it a week after or a month after, and then there's no point in that. So it's been amazing. I'll be down here again. Not for the challenge, obviously, but just pleasure fishing. But for the challenge, I'm getting out to more places, ponds, everything. I'm getting to that brook not too far away, try and catch some chub and trout. Excited. It's been, like I said, it's been something I've missed, filming videos, and I can't wait to get back out and do it again. So thank you ever so much for watching this episode of, I don't know, I've got to figure out the name when I get back. Yeah, thank you for taking the time to watch this. Also, please subscribe and like. I'm just going to say, I need to get monetized and earn money because I'm broke, and I had to get waders for free because I've got no money, and I need new gear. My rod is, that's not that rod, but I need a new feeder rod. I need money. And to be honest, YouTube is my dream job. That is something I'd like to do. You don't need no GCSEs for it. Alright, that was a bit straightforward. But thank you ever so much for taking the time to watch. And to my mates who are going to watch this, for the first video in ages, big up, lads. Yeah, thanks for watching. I'll get you in the next one.